Topic this week is supplements. So this is a very big industry. Upwards of $37 billion a year is going into this industry. So a lot of questions have come up already about it, and this week we're going to go over it. Today we're just going to scratch the surface with this video. So number one thing we want to say is most of your nutrients and the things you should be getting should obviously be coming from real food. So whole foods. When we say you want to eat the rainbow, you want to eat, different vegetables, different fruits, different meat sources.
A variety of foods every day.
Protein sources, exactly. And then any gaps that you might find that you have when you're trying to do your very best, that's when you might try to fill in that gap with a supplement. You don't want to, not eat vegetables and then just eat a green supplement and try to call it good.
Right. Yeah. In fact, we just want to kind of stress that if you're at the stage right now where you still feel like you're kind of working on really understanding what to eat and when to eat and making sure you're getting enough vegetables, making sure you're getting enough proteins and fats and carbohydrates, then this might be something to kind of listen to right now and put it to the side. We definitely want you to feel pretty locked in on, okay, this is what I want to eat, or this is my goal of trying to get it into in terms of your vegetables and like you said, the rainbow of foods. But there's been enough, questions and inquiry about it that we definitely feel it's important for us to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
today we're going to talk about a few that we recommend and that we have, that we know from research have been proved to be effective. So there's a ton out there that are ineffective, they're fake, they're scams. Because it's such a big industry and because people are interested and they buy, people will sell stuff that's absolutely fake and actually doesn't work.
Right.
So stuff that we trust and that has been proven to be effective. One of them, if I could recommend one supplement to you guys, it would be fish oil. So huge implications on your health. It can range anywhere from being good for your skin, can reduce redness or acne in your skin. It reduces inflammation in your joints and your muscles. So after a workout, when you've caused a good amount of muscular damage and inflammation, it actually helps you kind of get rid of that inflammation.
Yep.
It's good for your heart, and yes, it's even good for weight loss. So lots of benefits with fish oil.
Good stuff. Yeah. Another one that I use practically every day, and some of you are already probably using, is a powder protein. So you might add it in a smoothie. The personal favorite that I use is a whey protein, which derives, as you know, from milk. But if for whatever reason you either don't tolerate dairy well, or you're vegetarian, vegan, then you could certainly use as many different sources. I mean, they have pea protein out there, they have rice protein, soy, hemp is another big one. Whey, for me, it is the most quickly absorbed in your body type of protein, so especially for the use that I use it, which is a lot of times post-workout. It is a great way for me to get protein back into my system really quickly, which is why I'm a fan of whey. But there are other options out there.
Yeah.
So.
Another one that I like is aminos or branched chain amino acids. You'll hear them, abbreviated aminos or BCAAs.
Yeah.
They are great for recovery as well. So protein in your body, when you eat it, gets broken down into branched chain amino acids and then can be converted to muscle or used as fuel. So when they're in their form of branched chain amino acids, they're kind of more easily absorbed because you're kind of skipping a step that your body has to do, and they're very easily put into circulation and put to use. So they're great for recovery. Can get you recovering from your workout, building muscle, feeling good, and they even kind of act as a little bit of a sports drink. If you drink them during your workout, they have a little bit of sugar, a little bit of B6 and other stuff to help you get a little bit of energy too. So
yeah, basically without loading up on calories and loads of sugar like some of the sports drinks have, and also most of them don't have caffeine, so it's a way to kind of get a little energy during and after your workout, without kind of supplementing with Gatorade, which I'm not a huge fan of in many instances. Another one that we like to talk about that I pretty much try to take every single day is B12. So people can sometimes be deficient in B12. B12 is another B vitamin that offers or provides a lot of energy. So if you are someone that feels like you're getting a wide variety of vegetables, you're really covering the ground on all of your foods, you're getting enough sleep, and yet you're still feeling pretty fatigued, then B12 deficiency may be something that you have. And B12 can typically, it's best absorbed directly in the skin or sublingually. So for instance, I take a tablet that literally just goes under my tongue, and that's its best absorption. You can take it in pill form. It just is not known to absorb quite as effective. It's not
the stomach acid can break it down a little
Exactly.
bit. It's not as well absorbed when it's ingested into your stomach.
So that's one of my favorite ones.
One that all of us as New Englanders should be taking in the winter is vitamin D. So us being in the northern hemisphere, we don't get a lot of sunlight exposure, and our bodies synthesize vitamin D. We make it, so it's not essential in our diet. But a lot of times you'll see it in certain foods, like milk and other things. The government will actually tell companies to put it in food products because it's such an epidemic that of vitamin D deficiencies that we actually need to start putting in our food. Kind of like the government started putting iodine in salt because we were so iodine deficient. So, but nearly all of us, especially in the northern hemisphere in the winter, are vitamin D deficient. So winter months, I would definitely recommend taking vitamin D. Summer months, you should be getting about 20 minutes of direct sun exposure every day. So before you put on sunscreen, get a few minutes of direct sun exposure, not enough to give you a burn, nothing crazy, but get your body to absorb that sunlight so you can make that vitamin D, and then put the sunscreen on. Don't get any of that ultraviolet radiation. Take care of yourself.
Right. Yeah, an interesting fact, probably maybe more significant for females, that I was mentioning to Tommy is even in the summer months, regardless what kind of time of year you're at, a lot of the moisturizers now in the beauty industry, the day moisturizers, are made with an SPF. I know recently I went to go buy a moisturizer and it was SPF 40. So I'm not saying don't wear them. I personally choose not to. I go with a night cream that doesn't have an SPF, and then when I'm out in the sun I add sunscreen because I just don't want SPF on all the time. But if you do use that, then you need to realize that even during the summer months you may also need to supplement with vitamin D, because it could mean that you're almost never kind of getting that direct sunlight exposure that your body needs to absorb the vitamin D. So just something to think about.
It's a great perspective that I wouldn't have thought of. Glad you're here. Another supplement that's very big, hot topic out there is creatine. So this is actually the most widely studied supplement in the world. Lots of articles on this one, and it is very effective. So it's best known for increasing your strength in short sports. So like quick sprinting or heavy lifting.
Yeah,
So explosive events that last like less than 10 seconds. So a 10-second football play or sprinting. So it does give you an increase in muscle mass. You can put about like 5 pounds on somebody in muscle mass and a little bit of water weight. But if those aren't your goals, if you're not looking to bulk up, you're not an athlete looking to do those short bursts of activity, that one might not be needed for you.
Yeah, and that's a great point with all of these supplements. Like we said, we're mentioning some of the ones that we know work, and are generally effective. But that doesn't mean that every single one of you needs to be taking these. I think a great example right now personally is that I'm not taking creatine because I don't necessarily feel I need it. It's not kind of in my realm of things that I think are worth it for me. But that's just something to think about in general when we talk about any of these supplements. Another one that can be very helpful is fiber. So, as we know, fiber is obviously naturally occurring in your foods. The more green leafy vegetables you're getting, the more kind of, if you're opting for breads, the more whole grain type breads that you're having are going to contain a lot of fiber. However, if you feel that you're not quite getting enough, fiber can be a great resource. It does help with weight loss. I think it's the number one product used for weight loss. Obviously, it kind of provides a feeling of fullness. It slows down your digestive process. So obviously, it kind of adds a little bit of bulk into your system. And then because it slows down the digestive process, you feel a little bit full longer, and therefore typically don't feel like you need to eat as much. So it can be a great help with weight loss and kind of that feeling of fullness if you're someone that struggles with that. It's also healthy for your gastrointestinal system as well. So there's multiple health benefits, but definitely weight loss is one of them.
Yeah.
So.
And just to touch on that, what Renee means by it's slowly digested, so it doesn't slow down your metabolism. We want you to have a fast metabolism.
Good point.
So carbohydrate is digested very quickly. Fiber is the slowest digested. So when you eat something that is fibrous, it's slowly digested, so it keeps you full pretty long. It doesn't slow down your metabolism. Just wanted to clarify that.
No, thank you. That was a really good point.
And one thing you may find when if you're somebody that wants to pursue a fiber supplement, a lot of times because they have such implications on digestion, they're kind of marketed for people suffering from constipation. So it might say like really big on the bottle for constipation or whatever. Many other uses, so not just limited to that. So aids in digestion, aids in feeling full for longer, and weight loss, and increasing that bowel movement activity is just one of the many benefits of
benefits.
it.
Yeah. One other thing that we just kind of want to mention in the topic of supplements that we think is important for you to know is to understand that as huge of an industry as it is, as much money as we've talked about, it's actually not regulated by any kind of U.S., not the FDA. There's no really regulation, self-regulated basically, which essentially means that these companies, there are many reputable companies out there, so I'm not talking bad about all of them, but there also can be many companies out there that are not putting out safe products, are not really doing the due diligence that they should be doing, and are probably just trying to kind of make a cheap product so they can make a lot of money. So if you are going to go ahead and go down the route of supplements, you actually want to probably do a little bit of work and a little bit of research when you go to buy the product, and make sure you're kind of getting a quality product that has a good reputation.
Absolutely.
Anything to add on that?
No, I think you covered it. So some of the ones that you can look out for are if it's collegiate approved. So if it's approved for college athletes, they can't be doing steroids or anything crazy. So theirs are approved. I believe NSF or NFS.
I think it's NSF, I believe.
They have a seal. They're a third party. So a couple of organizations exist that are looking out for your best interest. And
So kind of test it third party and then report out the results to make sure it's kind of quality. It doesn't have any dangerous additives or ingredients in it that they really haven't mentioned. So it's worth your time to kind of take a quick look and make sure that you're getting a reputable product. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
All right, guys. So keep some of those in mind. Come up with some questions this week.
Yeah.
We're going to go into more detail on Wednesday and Friday as
Yep.
well. But any questions you have on these, feel free to ask throughout the week, and we'll go into more depth. All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.